Cellular respiration occurs in a yeast as glucose is processed into ATP and carbon dioxide, resulting in the puffing of gas. Discover the steps and result of the two types of cellular respiration in yeast, the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic cellular respiration is a cellular respiration that requires oxygen. There are three main steps to this process: the glycolysis, the citric acid cycle, and the oxidative phosphorylation. Here we will look at each step in more detail. Step 1. Glycolysis. During the first step of cellular respiration, glucose, a simple sugar, enters the cell. The yeast uses the glucose and creates 2 ATP, 2 NADH, a molecule that carries electron to be used later, and 2 pyruvate needed for the next step. 2. The citric acid cycle. The pyruvate is converted to a molecule called acetyl in the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. This molecule is regenerated during the steps, hence the cycle part of the name. During this conversion, each pyruvate releases one carbon dioxide molecule. Next, acetyl is converted to several other molecules before being regenerated. During this reaction, 2 GTP, which are later converted to ATP, are made. The steps also make 6 NADH, the most of any steps in cellular respiration, and 1 FADH2, a similar molecule. At this stage, 2 additional carbon dioxide are released. Step 3. Oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation is the big energy payoff for yeast. These steps occur in the inner membrane of the mitochondria. All of the NADH and FADH2 created come to the membrane to drop off their electrons. They deliver them to proteins in the electron transport chain. Each protein likes each electron more than the one before it, so the electrons keep getting passed down the chain. At the end of the chain is oxygen, the ultimate electron acceptor. The oxygen takes 2 electrons and 2 hydrogen ions from the mitochondria and turns them into water. Then aerobic respiration is a form of respiration process that uses transport chain called physiomel, which is where the cellular respiration process is without oxygen. Whereas aerobic respiration is a type of respiration where oxygen is used. Anaerobic respiration mostly occurs in prokaryotic cells, and mostly to plants and to organisms, in the presence of very little or no oxygens. Plant cells and microorganisms, example yeast, produces carbon dioxide and ethanol or lactic acid through anaerobic respiration. For example, in the yeast, an aerobic reaction make alcohol. However, in muscles, they make lactic acid. One type of anaerobic respiration is fermentation. Fermentation is another anaerobic way for breaking down glucose that performed through many types of cells. It is a process that allows cells to gain energy from different types of carbohydrates while being without oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Respiration is a process where the glucose or the food that is in the cell breaks down into smaller substances and produces carbon dioxide and energy.